Welcome to a Fortify experience where I will be sharing with you a pass through a simple process that's personalized for you to help you quickly increase your self-motivation by guiding you to be able to see, hear, and feel yourself being the person that you truly want to be. Because the better you feel about who you are, the more you can create more satisfying relationships, a healthy self-image, and a greater self-esteem that can carry you into a more positive, productive, and fulfilling path forward. So what are the benefits of being self-motivated? Well, for one thing, it can free you from procrastination. And another thing is that you can get more respect because of fewer negative responses to your lack of action. And another thing is that you can be proud of yourself for getting more accomplished. Now, during this process, you'll be filling in 7 blanks from A through G, so have a piece of paper and a pen or pencil handy so that you can write your answers down. And if at any point during the video you need extra time to complete the statements, feel free to pause the video. And if at first you have trouble thinking of your own specific examples, just feel free to use the examples in this video as your own because it'll still work. So let's begin the process. The first step is to fill in the blanks to the following statement. The thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself being self-motivated is B. So now write down being self-motivated for A, and then write down why it specifically stops you for B. Examples could be, I keep telling myself I have no time to do things, or I see things as hard to do, or maybe I have no desire to be pressured. So fill in your B for the thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself being self-motivated is B. The next step is the reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. Now here is where you have your uncensored, real underlying feelings. So these are your personal feelings, but examples could be, it makes me feel like I'm lying to myself, or it makes me feel deficient. Maybe it makes me feel defiant. So now fill in your C for the reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. So now here comes step 3. This is the key to the ingenuity and the effectiveness of the Fortify process. And here's where we're going to uncover the specific positive aspect within you that is unintentionally being ignored, dismissed, dishonored, or forgotten in this situation. And this positive aspect is something that you love, value, or respect about yourself, and you know to be true about yourself. And it's missing when you're feeling that C. So the statement is, the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D, where D is some aspect of yourself that is not being used or honored in this situation. So examples could be, most times I'm honest with myself, or maybe I'm very intelligent, or it could be, I work well when there are mutual agreements. So think about it and fill in your D for the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D. So now in step 4, it's time to fortify D in your mind-body system. And this is easy because all you do is simply remember a time in your life when you were activating and using D, that positive aspect that you discovered in step 3. Now these are memories, your own memories, that remind you that you have been able to trigger that positive aspect D naturally and automatically in other situations in your past. The statement is, I know D because E. So now search your memory and find any pattern or circumstance in any area of your life that confirms the fact that you possess that positive attribute D. And at this point there could be many examples, but try to use the simplest ones because they can be the best. For example, you could say, I went on a diet when I was overweight, or I learn things easily. Or it could be, my partner and I built a successful business together. The statement again is, I know D because E. So write down your E. Now in step 5, it's time for you to think of a specific time when you experienced that positive value in the past. The statement is, a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. So examples can be, when I refused fattening foods, or when I learned to speak Spanish in 3 weeks, or maybe when my partner and I agreed on how to advertise. So the statement again is a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. And now we go to step 6. Remember back to that time F and re-experience that whole event and what it felt like. And really feel how good and strong it makes you feel to remember that. And feel the inner strength from that experience that makes you feel inspired, empowered, or really good about yourself. And now make that feeling really strong and then double it and triple it until you can feel that feeling vibrating throughout your entire body. And then identify in a word or two what is the underlying real strength. The statement is the underlying real strength that made F so powerful for me was G. Again, examples can be willpower, initiative or drive, or maybe collaboration. So fill in your G. And now we go to step 7, which is the copy process. This is where you're going to copy or embed that strength G from another time in your life into that issue that you started out with. And now focus on that powerful, real strength feeling in your body and hold on to it and make it really strong. And then double it and triple it until you can feel that G vibrating through your entire body. And then imagine taking some of that powerful energy G and putting it into a ball in one of your hands while still holding on to that real strength G in your body. And feel that energy pulsating in your hand. And so now as you hold a ball of that powerful positive energy G in one hand, remember what that old feeling C felt like? Put a ball of that energy C into the other hand. And now we're going to experience that powerful neurolinguistic programming technique that's really, really effective. We're going to use that ball of positive energy G that's in your one hand as a solvent that will completely dissolve that negative energy or feeling C. So as you start bringing your hands together, start noticing how the positive energy can literally dissolve the negative energy, and keep mixing that solvent of positive energy in with the negative energy until all of the C energy is completely dissolved and all you can feel is that super positive energy of G. Really enjoy that feeling. And so now let's see how you did. Start a new list and write down your original A, using the same A as you used before, being self-motivated, and complete the following statement. The thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself, A, being self-motivated, is B. And now write down your new B. Now you may be surprised that your new B is different from your original B. And this is fantastic because when this happens, it proves that your previously hidden inner strength has both been activated and embedded and installed into that original feeling that you started out with. Otherwise, your B would wind up being the same as it was before. This is the uniqueness of the Fortify process because this is how it proves that your state of mind has progressed, because it validates that you have been transformed and shifted yourself into a different and perhaps more powerful state of mind, or even a more peaceful state of being. And this proof is a benefit that you cannot get from any other technique. So at this point, if you have not yet been able to answer nothing for B, then it means that you can simply come back and do more passes through the Fortify process so you can find and stack additional positive inner strengths into that original situation. And each time you come back, you will be using the newer B until you can finally answer nothing for B, or until you're satisfied with the progress that you've already made. And depending on the complexity of the issue, you might have to do this numbers of times before you can finally answer nothing for B. When I can finally answer nothing for B, that's when I am able to really feel relieved, because I just don't feel the same grip or sting that I felt in the original situation. And not only that, but I can see myself feeling more in control, more self-confident, and recognizing options and inner strengths that I didn't realize that I had before. And when you just don't feel the same anymore, imagine how different things can be when similar situations come up in the future. Can you imagine how good you can feel in the future, having improved your self-motivation? You might wind up being more surprised than you can imagine. And not only that, but by activating and embedding those previously hidden positive inner strengths, you've also boosted your self-esteem and self-image for that situation. Something that can never be taken away from you now that your real strengths have been brought into your conscious awareness. And don't be surprised if you find yourself exhibiting those real strengths in other areas of your life too, because now that you're consciously aware that you have those real strengths, that means that you'll now be able to use those strengths to your real advantage. And for me, it's always fun and eye-opening to do the Fortify process because it makes me feel good to find and activate inner strengths that I forgot that I had. I hope you have surprising and rewarding insights about yourself like I have had. The fascinating thing about Fortify is that it reassigns an unproductive focus into a successful focus that shatters faulty logic. It compassionately shifts your focus to times when you recognized your true worth and value, and it adds that inner strength into your stack of positive inner resources. So as we thank you now for joining us, we suggest that you look at the other issues that we cover in our YouTube videos to see what might apply to your other life situations. And please tell your friends and family about these videos because you never know who they can help. They're all free with no strings attached. And we would love to hear about your Fortify experiences. So send your comments to thefortifyexperience@gmail.com. And also check out our Facebook page and the Fortify Kindle book on Amazon.com by clicking on the links below. And please subscribe to our channel so that we can help keep you informed of new information and new videos. Thank you so much for joining us again. See you next time.